Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. So excited for today's video. I know I'm always saying that, but it's especially true today. It's Cellar Saturday, which I'm really enjoying that whole experience. It seems like people like it. Definitely interacting, a lot of views, and I've had some people reach out like, hey, I'm also going to drink something for my cellar. So really rad. And today is no exception. I just realized these are the opposite of how I usually have them. So this is Mad Elf from Troegs, a beer I love, and I have a decent amount still aging from different years. This one is from 2012. To make my life easier, I put a sticker on it back in the day and wrote the year. And you can tell it's really old because the first time I ever wax sealed, I didn't realize there was bottling wax, and I just used a candle. And it has that candle wax. You can see a nice bubble right there. I bet this is going to have... Well, okay, so here's what this beer is. It's an ale brewed with honey and cherries. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this beer has no cherry flavor left at this point after 8 years. It's 11% ABV. And let's see, is this anything about... Yeah. So a cheerful creation to warm your heart and enlighten your tongue. Fermented and aged with a spicy yeast, this ruby red beer delivers subtle cherries and enticing aromas. The Mad Elf, a jolly and delicious beer for the holidays. Holiday cheers, Chris and John, the Troegs brothers. They're out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. I have proper glassware. It was awesome. Way back in the day, they were doing like 22 ounce in a glass, like a nice cardboard package, and I made sure I grabbed one. And it's a beer I really enjoy. And I've had, I like it fresh, I like it with some age on it. And again, at this point, it's probably going to be quite different than it was fresh. All that wax is just chunking off. Yeah, don't use... Yeah, actually, I get a little bit of... Well, I get a nice sweetness coming out of the bottle right now. Yeah, if you're going to wax seal, I did make a video of how to do it correctly. And yeah, do not use candle wax. The things I didn't know back in the day. And I love this glass because when you pour it, if I pour a full one, although it's a little, to steal Matt from Massive Beer Reviews, it's a little doo-doo water looking. But when you fill it up, it almost looks like a Christmas tree ornament, which is pretty rad. Actually, I'll do it. I was going to save it for the photo, but... yeah, it's not quite the same color as it is fresh. It does have that nice that nice red, but it has a lot of brown in it at this point. Barely any head. It's a khaki color, but I mean, there's some residual sticking to where the glass is, but in the center, there's hardly any. You basically just see the liquid at this point. So yeah, not quite the color it is fresh. But yeah, let's get into the aroma. You do get a nice sweetness. It's very Belgian, spicy, with a nice sweetness. I wouldn't say honey specifically, but I'm not surprised that there's additional, sugars in this beer. It's almost cidery, but maybe it's just a combination of the color and the sweetness that's kind of like tricking my brain. And you know what? Now that I'm saying cider, I actually do think I get a little bit cherry. I actually like the smell quite a bit. You age a beer this long and it can go sideways. And from the color, that didn't have me super convinced that this was going to, be drinking okay. But the aroma does give me hope. Only one way to find out. Cheers. I'm definitely okay with how that tastes. You do actually, you know what? I shouldn't have said anything about that cherry. It's pretty muted, but there is still some cherry there. You do get that sweetness. You get that Belgian spiciness. It's past its prime. It is past its prime. There's no question of that. It is past its prime. But it's still a nice drinking experience. And that cidery thing I got in the aroma, it's not unpleasant, but I mean, that can be an off flavor. So it might be some of that. But because of what's left in the beer, it's not a bad thing at this point. You do not taste the alcohol at all. A little raisiny. There's a nice level of sweet syrup cut with molasses. towards the finish, into the finish, like definitely as I'm talking still. And you get those whispers of the cherry still, because I've had this age where there's no cherry left. So I'm pretty happy about that. This is cool. This is good and a cool experience more than, because some of these cellar beers I've done have just blown me away. This one's not blowing me away. Like I don't want to mince words, but I'm enjoying the experience because it is good still, and it's so interesting. It's in some ways the same beer, in some ways definitely not the same beer. This is cool. Have you had Mad Elf before? Have you aged Mad Elf? What do you think? Definitely 8 years for me is past its prime, but still drinking pretty cool and pretty good. Aging beer in general, if you are choosing to drink something from your stash, what are you drinking? Let me know. Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Check me out on Instagram and on Tapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.